Hey guys, so I'm back with this week's movie review, and actually this week I will be reviewing two movies. The first one is Snake Eyes. It was released by Paramount and was directed by Robert Schwenkt, I think is his last name. I'm sorry, I honestly don't know how to say his last name, so just go to IMDb.com. But basically, yeah. So this movie is being released this weekend, and it stars Henry Golding as the titular character called Snake Eyes. Um, and so basically, this movie, if you're familiar at all with any of the G.I. Joe material, then you are definitely familiar with the name Snake Eyes, with the character Snake Eyes. He's like this like silent slash mute assassin, or I guess a silent mute assassin slash ninja, who works for the G.I. Joes and is um this skilled in all forms of combat, including like sword fighting and throwing ninja stars and gunplay and all that shit. So he's pretty badass. But I do want to preface this review by saying that if you are familiar or if you are a fan of the GI Joe lore source material, then you should definitely go into this movie with no expectations, because this movie is not it it has the same name as the original characters and all that stuff, like Snake Eyes and Scarlet and the Baroness, and they do mention GI Joe and Cobra in it as well, but a lot of their origins and relationships to each other are changed. uh so this is a whole it tells a whole new story, a whole new perspective. So yeah, if you are hardcore GI Joe fan, then you might be disappointed. So that's why I'm saying go in with no expectations. Um, but for what it was, I would give it grade wise. I would probably give it like a C. Um, I mean, this first of all, this movie's gonna be. I mean, sorry, this movie review is gonna be pretty short. I honestly don't feel like talking that long about this movie. It wasn't that great, but it was fun for what it was. And like me myself, I'm not a huge GI Joe fan. I mean, I saw the first two movies that came out a while ago, and I never watched a cartoon, so I'm not really attached to the material that like a lot of other people are, I guess. So, but I mean, it's entertaining. It's very predictable, though. I will say, while it does deviate from the original source material, it is still extremely, extremely predictable. Like for instance, like I could obviously see, every twist and turn coming a mile away. Everything is very, like I said, everything is very predictable. But it is entertaining. Henry Golding plays the titular character Snake Eyes, and I mean, I have to be honest. Going into this movie, I didn't know what to expect from him as like an action hero, I guess, because that's what he is in this movie. But before, I've seen him in like romantic comedies and like crime movies and stuff, but never really in like a physical kind of role. And so, but I have to say, like, after watching it, I would say that he actually did a pretty good job. He actually brought his A game. I felt he was pretty convincing. It also helped that his character in this is not, I guess, the master ninja character that he is in the other movies or comics or TV shows, what have you. But he does get his ass kicked a lot throughout this movie, and he does struggle at times. Which I thought was different. That was sort of, kind of a nice deviation from the traditional sort of, unstoppable, indestructible action hero. Um, so yeah, so that was actually kind of cool to show that side, the human side of that. But and the supporting characters are rounded out by Andrew Koji, who plays Tommy, who a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people who have seen the original movies and all that stuff and TV shows will probably know him as Storm Shadow, but in this movie he's never referred to that by his name. He does don very similar outfits. Like he has like the whole like white suit and white ninja, whatever, all that stuff. Like he has this similar attire. He does fight with two swords in this movie, and spoiler alert. Towards the end of the movie, he does quote unquote go rogue, I guess, or like excommunicated from his clan, his ninja clan. So I guess that sort of foreshadows his fall to the dark side and all that stuff. But I mean, and also I guess I want to say too that from like a diversity perspective, whatnot. I do like the change from Snake Eyes having been originally Caucasian to actually being Asian, or part Asian technically, because Henry Golding is only half. But yeah, basically, I mean, yeah, more or less he is Asian. So that is a nice change of pace. It's nice to see again more Asian men in leading roles and stuff like that. And Andrew Koji, who is also of Asian descent, he also does a very good job. I honestly felt like I actually was kind of more interested in his character and his arc, and you know what I mean, because I thought like Andrew Koji gave like a stronger performance. Um, he has that kind of Anakin Skywalker kind of fall to the dark side, like I said before. Which again, if you're a fan of anything G.I. Joe, then you do know that he does eventually become a villain. And this movie sort of details his fall to that side, I guess, while also sort of depicting Snake Eyes' origins as well. And I thought it was kind of interesting at first because, like I said, this movie does have a lot of twists and turns. And so, they start out. I will say that it kind of works to the movie's benefit that they do change up the origins because it makes everything a little bit, you don't know everything, even though things are predictable how they play out. At first, starting out, you're not sure, who's on which side and who's going to turn who and all that stuff. So there is a little bit of that kind of, aspect to it, which helps it. But like I said, it is very predictable. The fight scenes themselves are pretty good, actually. They were surprisingly strong. I felt like the fight scenes were well shot. I've heard a lot of people complaining that they're hard to see and that there's too many cuts and all that stuff. I actually didn't really have that problem. I felt like the sword play was pretty good. It was very entertaining. For a PG-13 film, it has all the PG-13 violence you would expect. So it doesn't get too bloody or anything like that. But like I said, it's entertaining. And also I also want to say that I did appreciate the fact that there was a sort of romance or whatever between Henry Golding's character and the female lead in this movie, played by Haruka Abe or something. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I'm like totally whitewashed, but Haruka Abe, who plays Akiko in this movie, and they actually have pretty good chemistry together. It was, they are both of Asian. The characters are both of Asian descent, and I just felt like that's not something that we see a whole lot in big Hollywood movies, and we don't see romances between Asian characters and like two Asian people, like Asian man, Asian woman. We hardly ever see that. So that was refreshing. So I do give the movie props for that. I definitely give the movie props for that. So yeah, guys. Other than that, would I recommend it? I mean, look, honestly, if you have not that much to do this weekend or whatever, you know what I mean, or you just want to go out and kill a couple hours, then there are worse movies that you could see. You know what I mean? This is not the worst movie ever made or anything like that. It's entertaining. Like I said, there are a lot of there are some pluses to it too. Yeah. So I guess make up your own mind, but that's my review of Snake Eyes. Thank you very much for watching. I will be uploading my next review as well very soon, which is M. Night Shyamalan's Old. So until then, thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw today or heard what you saw, or what you heard today, then please like, comment, subscribe. It would really help me and stuff like that. So because I like making this type of content, but I'm only going to keep making it if you guys are actually watching it and stuff and are interested in it. So anyway, so yeah, please do that. It'll be a big help. And until then, I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.